the green light, the green light, and then we got do we got the green light now? Okay, good. So, what we're doing today, hey, Muñoz, do me a favor. Y póngame por favor, solve radical equations. Solve radical equations. I will solve radical. So,
how many sections do we have?
I think there's like 4 more. So, Roma. So what we're doing today is we're solving equations that have radicals in them. And the idea is not really that difficult, but it can get a little bit intricate sometimes for some scenarios. So, our objective is to solve equations that have radicals in them. I'm just going to get started because it's a short day. I want to make sure that we can get through those. So, let's go ahead and start by solving these. Now, I really want to follow the model. Watch me do it. Laptop should be closed. Cell phone should be put away. What's up? 222. Yeah, if you're going to charge cellular, put it over here, away from you. Let's get to this. So I've got this equation. I want to solve it for x. The problem here is that I have a radical, right? So, put those pencils down. Watch me do this first. What I want you to do is first isolate the radical. That means have the radical just by itself. So in this case, in order to do that, what do I need to do? I need to get rid of this 3, don't I? So I'm going to do this to both sides because now I'm going to have the square root of 2x minus 3 is equal to 5. Simple enough?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, this is a very simple question. What is the opposite of taking the square root of something?
Squaring it.
Squaring it, right? So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to square both sides, both sides. On the left side, yeah, this does undo itself. So now I have 2x minus 3, and what does that equal? 25. And now I just have a very linear equation that I can solve. I'm going to add 3. That's going to give me 2x is 28. And then finally I'm going to divide by 2 using my division property of equality. Beautiful. Can't forget those things, guys. But there we are. Thumbs up if you're good, thumbs down if you're not. No grunty. I don't speak caveman. All right, cool. Get this jotted down, and then we'll go over our next example. That was funny. I was like, man, they're walking a straight line. That's hilarious. No.
Really?
You guys can't leave the first 10 minutes, remember?
We were there for 10 minutes.
First 10 or the last 10.
Huh?
You're not supposed to be the first 10 or the last 10.
Why? What's that supposed to mean? If they cut them, they don't want to buy out I don't smoke. Okay.
Put your cell phones away, please. Thank you. Justice, talking again? What am I going to do when you leave me?
No, we're going to do when I leave. I don't leave no class next year.
No one's going to make me
Or is that
smile.
mine?
You're going to be in here next time? You're not?
You don't have to.
Oh, no, you're good.
We don't want nobody to stress you out.
Can I change it? No? Okay, I think so. I'll just play
Real,
it.
she got nobody to stress you out.
Nobody stresses me out.
I do.
No, you make me
You
laugh.
what? First of all, it's such a conversation. Anyway, I don't think she will cut anyone's questions as opposed to
That was gold.
I'm just kidding.
I feel bad for
Don't
you.
take it to the heart.
That was not nice. I don't think she meant to be mean, though.
First of all, no one's talking to you. You not here.
I don't know what you guys can do without each other. You guys like fight all day, every day.
Man, we used to put on the gloves.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first episode that I'm not in.
Who's still writing? Justice, you're still writing? This is the division. I'm using notation. This is bad notation, but it just means I use the division property of equality. Like over here, I use the addition property of equality. That's all I was doing. It's getting hot.
Right.
It's because you're in here, huh? That's what someone said. Was it? I think it was her. She said last time. It's because I'm in here. It's me.
That was her jazz dance. That was her group dance. I'm talking about the group dance.
Tsunami! Oh no! Where's the excitement?
Do it again, do it again.
Tsunami!
Whoa!
Yes. Okay, you try. This one, please.
This one's actually pretty easy.
Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew.
Focus. X equals 1. X equals 1. X equals 1.
It says to my biggest fan, Jose Munoz, and then sign it.
Keep looking. They can still go. They can still be put in. They would still be put in, but it's
Move over the, oh, you gotta square it, yeah. Yeah, you gotta square it. I didn't square it. Míralo, que el burro.
Así me dice mi papá. Inteligente, pero bien pendejo.
Separation,
Oh no.
separation, el coordination, en mi colgaration.
Alright, so
and not to be supposed to be able to.
No.
Square. I learned it from you. I can't use it. There you go. You know how to do this.
that cancels on this.
So like, it's not just like
Well, the guy, so you put you want to have 5 to the other side, and then since it's square, you want to do the opposite of that.
never mix bread with
Right,
pork.
so
What other
that's
stuff?
25.
Ladies know how to do. You gotta talk for it. So many people have done that. So many dishes because people put bread in the wrong. Don't mess up paper.
No, she was at the nurse. Yeah, you had me think about that. Like, why did I let her go? I'm a horrible person. Go ahead and go. Deja, go. You don't want to get sick or anything. So I'm gonna get rid of that 5 first because we want the radical by itself. So we've got 4x plus 1. That is now 5, right?
Yes.
How do you get rid of the radical?
Square it.
Square it. Square. Gone. So 4x plus 1 is 25. Take away 1.
Divide by 4.
And you're gonna get 24.
So,
Divide by 4.
equals 6.
6. Now, I do want to point this out.
You're still talking about me.
Oh, wait. Tsunami. Whoa. I got an answer. You want to make sure that you do like you used to in Algebra 1. Like, we've gotten really confident about not checking our work. You really do want to make sure you check it, Elijah. You really want to make sure that you check it, because sometimes you're going to get 2 answers, and one of them just might not work. So you want to make sure you check that. So in this case, let's put 6 back in there. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. Square root of 25 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. So we're good. Like I said, sometimes you're going to get 2 answers. Make sure you check both of them. Because even though you got 2 solutions, one might not work, and you put both of them in Math Excel, guess what?
It's wrong.
You're just wrong. You just lost points. All right, cool.
Do you need the time? No, he gave it to me.
Look at that right there.
What about yourself? Why did you do that?
Okay, put your pencils down. Let me show you how to go about this one. So here's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Reason? I don't want anything. I just want that by itself. So this is x plus 1. Do you guys remember what I said about the radicals? It's the power over the root, right? So this is really x plus 1 to the second power, and the root on that is 3. And over on this side, what do I have? I have 4. Go ahead and look at that for a quick second. Make sure you understand what happened before I go any further. It's a cube root.
To the second power?
Yeah.
Would you do the exponent first and then?
Well, I just want to make sure everyone understands what's going on right here so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're good with it. Sideways if you're a little unsure on something. And down if you're lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay with the division part, right?
Yeah.
Roma?
What?
You're okay with getting rid of that 3?
Yeah.
I just divided it. Okay, so that would give me the 4. Now this is taking this number. Whoa, that's not going to help. So
What
here's the
happens if you
number.
don't- What happens if you don't take away that? Like divide it?
If I leave it as 2/3,
No, if you just don't divide it.
it's going to be more work. And you really don't want more work. You try to make it as simple as possible. Have your people come with people? All right, so at this point, I have a cube root this time. Do I still want to square it? No. What do I want to do? I want to cube both sides. So I'm going to take this to the 3rd and this to the 3rd. Okay? That's going to make these cancel out. And I'm going to get x plus 1, quantity squared, is 16 times 4, 64? 64? 84? What is it? 64? Okay? We cool? Okay. No? Which part? Where did I get 64? Well, it's a cube root, right? Are this 3 or this 3? The green 3? Well, I just want to undo the cube root. The opposite of cube rooting is to cube it. If it was a 4th root, then I would take it to the 4th power. If this was the 5th root, then this would be a 5. Remember, they undo each other. Like in the last problem, there's no number there, but it's understood that it's a square root, so I squared it. Okay? Now, where to go? Here. At this point, you got a couple of options. Really up to you. I'll show you the easiest way. Is that cool? And then, So I'm going to use blue first. How do you get rid of a square? I square root, don't I? Now here's the deal. I'm going to get x plus 1 over here. However, when I take the square root of a square like this, I have to add plus or minus on the other end. Fantastic question. I'm glad somebody asked it right away. This is why. I'm hot. This is why. Here I have x squared. I took some number, I multiplied it by itself, and I got 9. Can you guess what number x was to begin with?
3.
It was negative 3. So in fact, there's two numbers at work, isn't there? There's 3, because 3 squared is 9, but negative 3 squared is also 9. So it could be either one of those two. So it could be the positive version or the negative version. Yes, you will put both solutions in there, correct. So what we're doing here is, I took the square root of a square. I still want to make sure that I count for both possibilities, both positive and negative versions. And what is the square root of 64? 8. So when I subtract 1, I'm going to subtract 1 to both of these versions. So it's going to be positive 8 take away 1. What's positive 8 take away 1? 7. And what's negative 8 take away 1? So here's my two solutions. Okay? So that's one way you could do it, which I think is the easiest way. The other way would be to expand it and then factor it out. I'll do it just for kicks. What's up?
My computer died.
Just go back in with the password. It's not even there. Did you change it to Munoz again? It's already there? It's there or it's not there? Give me a second.
She's on her phone.
Ooh, what?
I'm so sick and tired of your actions every single day. So fake, son. She said so fake, son. That's why I just stop. Justice. Mom and dad. Justice is
Justice is awesome. What are you talking about?
That's what Justice used to do. Bro, I remember when he said fall down. I said I did.
Now I know. Okay. That's how you have your team. Oh, this one. So on the green side, I can expand that. That would give me x squared plus 2x plus 1 is 64. Take away 64 on both sides. That's gone. X squared plus 2x. What is that going to be? Negative 63. So then factor that. And you should get what? 9 and 7? Well, sorry, that should be a negative 7. So that means that x equals 9 and x equals -9 and +7. So you could go either way that you want. You still get the same answers. I like this one. It's easier than having to expand and then factor again.
Doesn't it change the signs in the factoring? Because now the 7's negative and 9's positive.
Well, in here, that's not our answers, are they? It's just factored form. Once we solve it, we have to use that zero product rule. We're going to say, oh, what would make that 0? -9. That's an ugly negative, but it's there. It came from x plus 1 times x plus 1, right? What's x times x? You see that? That would be x squared. This is an x plus 1, and this is an x plus 1, which makes 2 x plus 1s. And then 1 times 1 is 1. Okay? You guys good so far? Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and write it down.
Mr. Munoz, can you help me real quick?
Give me a second.
It's hard to get a watch.
What was your question, Roman?
I don't understand how you did the last part.
Did you understand the blue one?
That's the one I went to.
Then don't worry about it. That's another way of doing it. Like from here, you can go this way or you can go the red way.
Which one?
The blue one.
How'd you do it?
I have so many things to do. It doesn't get transferred away.
What's the opposite of squaring something?
Because I have to go.
Square root, right? So when we square root, we're going to end up with x plus 1 here. But you have to do plus or minus the square root of 64, which is plus or minus 8. So now you just go take away 1. So what's 8 take away 1? 7. And then -8 take away 1? -9.
Oh, okay.
That's it. I like that one. But again, some people don't see it and they end up doing the factoring. You'll be okay.
No, not like that. Not like that.
They don't.
Not like that.
I do. Low-key therapy.
That's why I should have taken out a credit.
No, I'm gonna follow you for stuff. Mr. Miller, do you have another piece of desktop?
No.
They should just tell me.
I go to church all the time. What do you mean?
You guys good?
Yeah.
Alright, I want to look for.
It's super big.
You guys want to try this? Elijah?
They just stress me out.
I know.
I didn't even say nothing to him. Oh my god.
That's the problem is he needs you to say something to him.
He does. He always needs a reaction out of me.
Reaction.
Reaction.
You better get some cream for that reaction.
Oh my god.
That was funny. That was me yesterday morning. No matter what, I couldn't talk. It was like everything I said was just garbage.
Why don't people ignore Sergio?
Oh, I heard it.
I don't got a warrant. You okay?
Oh, wait. No, I don't like it. Miss Merce, got some napkins? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What is going on?
Oh, yeah.
40? Okay, tsunami! Tsunami! There we go. So, take away 1. Gone. 5th root of x plus 1 to the 3rd is 20, not 25, it's 24. Divide 3. That's gone. So I've got the 5th root of. So Justice, I have the 5th root of x plus 1 to the 3rd. What am I going to take that to what power? Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to take that to the 5th power. So make more sense now that way. So these are going to undo each other. I've got x plus 1 to the 3rd. I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator. Yeah, I'm not doing that in my head. Even if I try, it's going to be wrong. I was like, make it up. 3, 2, 7, 6, 8. Yeah, it's huge. Huge. What's the... Oh, and then to get rid of this 3rd power, I can take the cube root. So I'm going to cube root this. I'm going to cube root that to make this go away. So x plus 1 is equal to, I'm going to take the cube root of this number. Ayah. 3. Answer. 32. Thank you. So you're leaving now?
What time is this class over?
When the bell rings.
Well, can I go to the bathroom?
40.
Wait, didn't you just go?
No.
Oh, Daisha went.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to.
I don't know. Yeah, there's like 14 minutes. Why did I do plus minus here? What? Should I have done plus minus?
Oh.
No.
No,
It's not squared. That only happens when it's a square, right? If I have a negative, negative times a negative times a negative is negative. Positive, positive, positive is positive. So the plus tsunami.
Whoosh. Right, so when do we plus minus?
Only when you're doing like a square root or a 4th root, an even root. Because when it's evens, negatives, ladies, in evens, negatives will turn positives. So I want to make sure that I account for both versions of that. Not when it's odd. Not when it's an odd number. Barbara Streisand.
I know he did not say that.
Right, but in this case it's only going to be 1.
When do we get a brain break?
We're done.
Oh, finish it right now.
Like I have a harder one,
No.
but I think you guys are good, right? You get the point?
We're great.
Can you give us a brain break?
I think it's time for one of your hands.
I'm just gonna break.